ho, ho! Merry freaking Christmas. It's the Christmas edition of the
That
Gun
didn't sound
Cranks.
sincere at all.
Did he just call me a name?
Yes, he did.
Well, this is my persona, okay? I've got my elf hat. I'm Larry, the surly elf.
The Christmas court
Freaking
jester.
Christmas.
That's right.
Yeah.
You do need a cigarette, though. That would complete the ensemble.
Before we go any further, let me finish. This is the Gun Cranks. I'm Guns Magazine editor Brent Wheat, along with Santa Claus Roy Huntington and Tom McHale, who doesn't look all that festive. But anyway, we're the Gun Cranks, and welcome to
I'm
this
the only one
Christmas
who
edition.
brought Santa. Hello.
What?
And not only is
What?
I brought tax Santa. So this looks like a canteen, but it's actually a grenade.
That wouldn't happen to be a decanter, would it? Where you pull Santa's head off and have some snake bite medicine? Not so much?
That's right. Fireball. He's got it filled with Fireball.
Well, we thought today, since this is the pre-Christmas edition of the Gun Cranks, we do something fun, which is, let's talk about Santa's carry guns, Santa and the elves. For example, if he's going to Chicago, you know Santa's got to be packing heat. So let's talk about what Santa would carry or does carry in his sleigh. So I'm going to say the only thing right off the top of my head is if he's taking elves with him, maybe to ride shotgun, they're going to need something with a real short length of pull, don't you think? Or maybe collapsible stock.
Well, that's why AR-15s have collapsible stocks. It's for the elves. You didn't know that? They're the ones who make them.
I thought gangbangers in L.A. made them, according to Nancy Pelosi.
Nope, elves.
You know, those Mossberg Youth model shotguns would maybe be perfect.
But an elf, would they carry a shotgun? Would the recoil be too punishing for a diminutive toy maker?
You know, a 410 slug gun Cerakoted up with like sleigh bells and snowflakes and...
Like a candy cane, the barrels...
Yeah, somebody's going to do that now that we've said it.
You guys have obviously never stayed up late enough to see Santa arrive. I have, so I actually know firsthand how that sleigh is equipped. And you did bring up a good point about recoil sensitivity for the helper elves that come along for the ride. That's why he equips his sleigh with an MK-19 automatic grenade launcher. Mounted on a tripod, no recoil. Or the sleigh takes all the recoil. And it's just almost enough protection for that flight over Chicago. Almost.
But you know what? Let's think about this for a second, because this is friggin' Santa Claus, okay? And he lives at the North Pole. And he's got
Santa
elves. Yeah. He can do whatever he wants to do. I mean, he's got reindeer that fly, for crying out loud. So we're thinking too terrestrial.
Are they equipped with 30 millimeter cannons?
Well, that's right. Yeah. You know, there's a special harness that the little elves drum right up, you know, because Santa would go, I'm thinking a chain gun on Rudolph this year. You know, and they'd say, yes, Santa.
Dual chain guns.
Yeah, and they would do that. So what I was thinking is, if I was Santa Claus, and I'm a vindictive Santa Claus, what would I want? And
vindictive Santa Claus.
I would want...
Sorry, continue.
Especially for Chicago and Detroit and, you know, all those places full of gang members and everything, is let's do something positive for once this year. So if I would tell the elves, make me a chain gun. I want to use like depleted uranium charcoal projectiles, okay? And since I'm Santa Claus, and I could be magical, right?
Yeah.
These projectiles, charcoal. Who gets charcoal, boys?
The bad kids.
The bad guys, right?
Yeah.
If you've been bad or naughty.
So your charcoal comes at 5,000 feet per second.
Yes. And
now we know
walls.
how he delivers the coal stock. Okay.
It can penetrate walls, but not hurt anything. It just magically goes through the walls, because Santa can go down a fireplace. So these bullets can go through, and it will only hit the gang members. And when it does, not only does it leave a permanent charcoal tattoo somewhere visible, so then later on policemen can look and say, hey man, where'd you get that charcoal tattoo, right? But It reduces them to 5-year-old diaper-wearing little turd balls immediately. And then Santa can just fly on, and because his work there is done. Right?
Roy,
you didn't tell us about the
already?
eggnog pregame before the show today. So
No, this was practical thinking. I mean, because think about it. He could have anything he wanted to.
although that's an excellent point. I will give you that. There's no limit to what he could construct, up there. So, okay.
I mean, I've seen the Elf movie. You've seen the Elf movie?
Yeah.
And Santa's sleigh has this, neutron-powered thruster machine thing that the little boy fixes. Well, why not a chain gun that shoots depleted charcoal?
Well, that is a documentary. So now, unfortunately, the networks had to kind of blur out the MK-19 on the sleigh for,
And now, you know what? I just thought of something, though. Since we're doing this, does this make us naughty or nice?
What, exposing his defensive strategies?
I don't know. I mean, is he in the North Pole right now going, did something go beep, 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 and it focuses on where we are? And when he listened in, is he going, hey, I never thought of that, right? Or is he going, bad, 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 you're charcoal?
Well, I've got to say, I've checked our numbers, and you can find almost down to the person who's watching your videos and all that stuff. So we have our own naughty and nice list. But I've noticed Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Nancy Pelosi. There's a lot of people that watch Gun Cranks. So I'm sure Santa. Big shout out. How you doing? Glad you're joining us. And I've been really good this year. Really, really good.
You know what?
We should have him on one day.
Well, if we're really nice, I wonder if he would do the entrance for this episode. You think Santa would introduce us, maybe?
Yeah, I like that idea.
Nick, our producer, Nick, would you look into that, please?
Yeah, line it up, man.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Because that'd be a score, man. I mean, the NRA doesn't have Santa Claus, okay?
So we've talked about the sleigh. We've talked about the elves. What would Santa be packing? I mean, I'm thinking like a candy cane Desert Eagle or something crazy. Or the other direction, a little bitty Derringer. Maybe 4 or 5 little Derringers in those boots of his. So what do you guys think?
Because you know for a fact that once in a while, I mean, he's Santa, so he knows pretty much everything, but once in a while he drops down the chimney of a coal stocking house, rather than a presents house. And so for those situations, he's got to have something on his hip. And I believe, he's never told me this, but I believe it's a Beretta 93R.
Of course it is. Listen to who's talking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Hey, it's a fully auto handgun with a support hand little folding handle. What's not to love about
glitter.
that?
It would have to have gold glitter on it?
No, it's blued with walnut grips.
But does it shoot like stardust or, something special? Or because it's Santa.
It shoots hollow cocoa rounds. So, yeah.
I don't know.
This is bizarro. And I meant to ask you, Tom, you said you've seen Santa. I do think Roy's been in the eggnog before we started recording today. But Tom, what do you do about 8 p.m. on every Christmas Eve? Is there sampling of various spirits? So you get in the Christmas spirit?
There is, and we do leave stuff for him. When the kids we still do it actually with the kids when they're here for Christmas. We throw reindeer food out in the yard. But, after the kids go to bed, I go and I grab some 9mm and I sprinkle it around the yard as well, because you never know if he needs to top off. So it's always gone in the morning, so I think he appreciates it.
Top off here, Santa.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, you're right.
Have you ever drawn down on him?
No, he's drawn pictures of him, though.
We did do a simunitions training once, out at Gunsight. That was kind of fun. He's a big target, so.
Are you sure it wasn't just Jim Shepard?
Oh, Jim's kind of Santa Claus-like. Huh.
Yeah.
I like Jim.
Well, he's trimmed down. So.
You reminded me, though, because when I was little and they would leave the, milk and cookies out and stuff, my dad told me later on that the milk was always laced with brandy because, he was the one that had to drink it later.
Nice.
And I was always surprised by that because, you get up at 5:30 in the morning as the kids and you wake your parents up, and I always wondered why they all bleary-eyed. And then it wasn't, of course, until I was 16 I realized that it was them. And I know, so...
In my December Insider column, I talk about how I learned to be the great hunter and stalker because I'm a peeker. I started when I was like 8. And
don't share your Friday night habits with us on this show, okay?
No, I slithered, and I always read the hunting magazines, and I knew how to roll my feet and look for the wild dogs that inhabited the area, which was my dog Candy. And, I'd make my way to the Christmas tree and carefully unwrap a corner to see what it was and then put it back. And the funny thing is, over the next couple of years, the layout of the packages got more and more elaborate to the point they wove lights and tinsel, and it got to the point it was like diffusing a bomb to take these packages apart. And I got to be like 12, and I'm too old for this stuff. So I was that guy.
We forgot something, though, is that because when I was 10, Santa Claus brought me a Remington Model 514 single-shot 22. So Santa is already packing because I wasn't the only kid to get a gun for Christmas, and I happen to know personally here of at least 2 other kids that are getting guns for Christmas. So see, Santa's already pretty gun savvy.
We've all been in some big gun rooms for wholesalers, manufacturers, and all that. Did you ever stop to think about Santa's gun room? I bet he's got one guy just does nothing but clear 4473s and deal with the FFLs and the ATF guys.
Log guns in and log.
Yeah.
Boy, he's busy December 24th though, huh? Logging guns out. It's like, I got another one. Slow down, Santa. I got another one. Think of the poor BATF agent who's got that duty.
Well, they gave him the e-filing capability first.
Yeah. It's like, man,
it's not as bad as it used to be
again this year.
Yeah.
Do you suppose Santa has a theft problem like most gun rooms? Their guns just disappear occasionally, and some are worse than others. But I can't imagine, unless maybe there's a bad elf somewhere. I mean, somebody looks like me.
No, because the reindeers are actually attack-trained reindeers. Now, not very many people know that, okay? And they do have those secret powers. So, no, that's why there's no crime at the North Pole. No.
I love your visual of twin, chain guns on Rudolph. Of course, he's got to have FLIR, right? I mean, they're flying through bad weather and all that stuff. So he's got to have one of those big...
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's got to have one of those FLIR cameras. So I wouldn't mind having that outfit,
You know what?
Maybe
I know a cartoonist.
Look into that.
And if we had time, I'm going to see if he can do this. I'm going to have him do a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with like a harness with twin, chain guns. And his harness is going to be sparkly, and with, sleigh bells on it and stuff like that. So, okay.
Tom says it's a Beretta 92. I'm sorry.
93R automatic machine pistol.
Okay. I don't think so. I think
what magazine
Santa's
do you
old
edit?
I think
Old
he's got
cars,
a lever gun.
Knitting history. What is it?
This year he's carrying a Ruger 1895 SBL. Stainless steel. Got the composite stocks. That's Santa, and if you jack with him, you're going to get 4570 coming back at you.
And when he drives his sleigh, he hangs his left arm out the side and cocks it by rotating it in the air, like in True Grit.
Just like John Wayne. Exactly.
Yeah. Bang.
You think 4-on-1's a dog fall?
That's it. And when it shoots, it doesn't just go boom. It's like sparkles come out too.
Well, yeah, of course.
Because he's Santa Claus. I mean, you got to have sparkles.
Why do you think lasers only come in red and green? You ever thought about that?
See?
There you go.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. That's it.
People don't think about these things. So
yeah, there we go. As a matter of fact, you know what? That's probably how people can attract Santa on Christmas Eve. Is to go outside and shine your red and green lasers in the air and go like this and chant Santa, Santa, like that. That's how.
Well, that's
the modern.
He gets muzzled a lot by accident, of course. That's why he wears a Kevlar suit. So that red suit is not just wool; it's Kevlar. I'm telling you.
Let me just say, if you live near an airport, don't do that.
Don't.
The fine folks from the FAA will probably come and have a chat with you, and they're not as open-minded about Santa as the gun cranks are.
We were only kidding about the laser
We were
part.
only kidding. That'd be pretty cool, though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until there's an accident. But that kind of describes us anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, round robin real quick. Roy, what are you asking for Christmas? Seriously.
I found a custom single shot rifle recently, and I was doing okay till I saw that the serial number was 1954, which oddly enough is the year I was born. So I got windburn on my hand clicking the buy it now button. So there we go.
Well, Tom, what are you asking for?
Restoration for my Colt 1903. I want it to be spiffy and snazzy and just cool.
That's a noble thing. Brent, what do you want?
On the gun side, I got to say, I'm blessed. There's not anything I need from Santa. So what I'm going to do is get something for both my lovely wife and myself. I'm giving us the gift of... I have to do that because my lovely bride Shirley does watch the gun cranks religiously. So this will come out before Christmas, so we can't let the kitty out of the sack.
So you're giving her that you won't be able to talk anymore. Is it?
That is an awesome
That's
gift.
a pretty good present.
That is a really
I didn't say I was
selfless
giving her the greatest gift ever.
Hey, Nick, if you have time, write a note and hold it up so we can see what Santa's bringing you.
I know what he
Our
wants.
producer.
I think Nick wants patience.
Yeah,
For
he
doing
needs
this.
a good night's sleep, Santa, because Nick has new
That's
babies.
what Nick wants.
Yep. A day without kids.
Wow.
He's a new dad. All we old
He's a new
former
dad.
dads. Yeah, we laugh and point at him and throw things and stuff. So
I was going to say, it's terrible. I think it was our last company-wide team meeting. We've said this before, we're all scattered across the country, so we have regular video meetings. So it's like the Brady Bunch, all these squares, and I think it was 2 meetings ago, we were laughing at poor Nick. He looked like he had been beaten with a sack of hammers. He's got one baby in one arm, he's yelling at the other, and we're all of us, because we're all older than Nick, and we've already raised our children. It's like, I remember those days, and they were awful, weren't they, buddy?
well, you know, and it's funny because even when we're filming the cranks like this, because people may not know, we see Nick, right? Okay, we can see a little screen with him, and he holds up notes and tells us we're stupid and shut up and stuff like that. But
That's why he's the producer.
Yeah, but every once in a while, you'll see him look off camera, and his eyes will get real big, and then he'll hold his finger up like this, and then he'll disappear. And then come back holding like a diaper, or something.
Yes.
So we understand. All right, I'm sorry. We went on.
Okay.
Brent, you going to wind this up for us?
I am going to wind this up. Again, thanks for joining us. This is the Christmas edition of the Gun Cranks. And what does that mean? There's still time to get gifts. Aha! For example, if you want to subscribe to Guns Magazine or American Handgunner, you can go to gunsmagazine.com or americanhandgunner.com, and a 1-year subscription to either one of our wonderful magazines is $24.95. You can subscribe for 3 years. That's your best value, 36 issues, $57.95. So give the gift that keeps on giving. I suggest you not only get a subscription for every member of your family, get it for the mailman, get it for the guy that delivers your packages, and maybe the whole neighborhood. I think that's the true spirit of giving, is hundreds, if not thousands, of magazine subscriptions. So I encourage you to do that. And also, while you're online, Tom, there's some other stuff they could buy and stuff in stockings for the good little boys and girls.
And you know what? This is no reflection on me, but this is for you late shoppers. out there, who like to get into the Christmas spirit by shopping after December 20th, Brent. On December 20th, our Concealed Carry and Home Defense Special Edition comes out. And get this, there's an article in there by Nick himself about how not to shoot your... Can I say the rest on gun cranks or no? I don't know if you have a beep capability, but how not to shoot that off. Good stuff. Lots of other good stories too, but that's the one you want to read first. So pick that up. It'll be in bookstores and grocery stores and whatever, except Kroger, who are a bunch of communists or something. It won't be
They're
there.
getting coal this year.
It'll be they're a coal store, but it'll be there all over after December 20th.
Excellent. And I would be remiss without reminding folks that thanks for watching the Gun Cranks. You can also listen to us. And the Guns Magazine podcast, you can go to all the directories, look for the Gun Cranks audio podcast. So if you're driving to work or you're out doing yard work or whatever, shoveling snow, you can still listen to the Gun Cranks without having to watch us, because it's been said before, we all have a face for radio, so maybe the audio podcast would be better. So, guys, any final parting words as we shut this down for the Christmas festivities that are upcoming? And I've got a bowl of eggnog in there that is not drinking itself, so I need to jump on it. But you guys got anything else before we get out of here?
Just remember...
Yay, eggnog.
Yep, leave Santa an adult beverage, because, Lord, he needs it.
And ammo. Absolutely. Ammo in the yard. Sprinkle it around.
All right.
Outstanding. Well, don't forget to check out gunsmagazine.com, AmericanHandgunner.com, AmericanCop.com, and our various social media platforms, the Guns Magazine Podcast and the Gun Cranks Podcast. On behalf of Tom McHale and Roy Huntington, I'm Brent Wheat, wishing you a very Merry Christmas, because that's what we still say around here. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, well, have a happy holiday of whatever flavor you enjoy. So we will see you guys next episode.